to Crochet HD. I'm your host, Jackie.
If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I consider you a one-hit wonder. I am glad you're here. If you are a repeat offender, a member of the GlamFam, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. It is our January LP. That is a podcast episode where I wrap up everything that I did this month, things that I'm looking forward to doing next month, some things that I acquired, etc., etc., etc. Normally, Hetty would be wearing one of my finished objects, and while yes, she's technically wearing a finished object, the one that I wanted her to wear is still on the blocking mat, so I can't show that to you. So she's still wearing she's still wearing this. January lasted about 72 days, and I think I felt every one of those days. But looking at my list, I think I did pretty okay as far as, accomplishments and such. So I will just get into my finished objects. Most of these are going to be photos because I don't have them with me. So the first one is the shawl that I made for my mom right here. And it's been shipped off. And she loves it. Like, she loves if I send her a couple of pictures. By the time you see this video, she should have probably received it. That's finished object number 1. Finished object number 2. This is, there we go. This is my Linus shawl. So this was the shawl. That is a knit shawl pattern, and I hacked it to Tunisian crochet. However, I think I messed it up because I probably read like 2 lines of instruction and then just figured that that's how the whole thing went. So it actually got bigger quicker than it was supposed to. And yeah, I haven't blocked it yet because my blocking mats are currently in use, but I think it's going to block out to a fairly good size, little bit, I guess, like a short shawl or a shawlette size, which I actually like. But can we talk about this yarn? I absolutely love how this laid out. The colors are just scrumdiddlyumptious. The yarn is scrumdiddlyumptious. And this is Fall Feelings from Arcane Fiberworks. This is a full skein plus a little bit more of a second hank. I was going to use the full second skein, but I was afraid of how the shape would take on if it got too much longer. And right now I'm actually going to call out Shannon from Another Yarn because she just loves to pick on me about my cutting the yarn when I open that package. This is the yarn that was cut, but it has been salvaged. It has been saved. All is well with the world again. So ha ha ha, Shannon. That would be finished object number 2. Okay, number 3 is not going to make a whole lot of sense, but I had some extra yarn left over from when I made my hazy shade of winter cardigan that was made out of, the scrap, what is it called? It's the It's called the Hodgepodge yarn from Blue Mountain Family, from Blue Mountain Farms. So I had some yarn left over because the pattern, the sweater pattern that I used, you could put on pockets, and I have worn this thing so much and I love it so much that I felt like I should go ahead and put on pockets. So I made the pockets. They have not yet been blocked, but I made the pockets. So I will sometime in the next month show you the finished cardigan with pockets. All right, before I go on, I want to just show you a little bit of what I'm wearing. I don't think I have worn this on camera since I made it last year. This is the sweater that I called my Bougie Belle sweater. I can't remember the name of the pattern. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. And I made this as part of Young Folk Knits Bougie sweatshirt make-along last year. It's so comfortable. I'm looking at it, right? And I was looking at it today, and I think I would like to make it again, but I would like it to come up a little bit further on my shoulders, and I would like to disguise or get rid of these holes in the raglan part, because I think raglans, like raglan stitching, no, that's not the word, raglan, well, increases on knit sweaters, they can take on so many different like styles. They don't have to look like, you know, this like a teardrop type shape. And I would like to be able to do a raglan and just not have it look like this. I don't know if I can, but I'd like to give it a shot. Okay, next on finished objects would be my squares for the Hip to Be Square Mal. Remember that is 2 squares per month. And I think I had shown these to you before, but one of them got a facelift because it was irritating me. And I also added one more to the family. So here are my squares for January. There we go. Now these 2 came from my pickle jar from Aberdeen's wool. No, from Tangled Poets, Aberdeen's wools. And this was just scraps. And I can't remember scraps of what at this moment, but there we go. And yeah, all of them are granny squares. I'm making another one using a pattern out of one of my square books, but I hate it. So I'm not going to count this. And see, it's not even technically finished because it's not the same size. So we're not counting it, but I'm just showing it to you anyway. I am trying to do squares other than grannies. Who thought that this would be my life right now? Because y'all know I don't. Traditionally speaking, I am not a fan of grannies. But for the last 4 months, this has become my life, y'all. Next on the list, beep, 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 beep. Oh, so I went down the I want to make my own emotional support chick rabbit hole and made 3. And here they are. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. And for those, if you're not 100% sure where the name Lin-Manuel Miranda came from, it is a play on the name Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is the most awesome man in the world outside of my husband. I have to say that for legal reasons. He is the creator of Hamilton and a bunch of other things, and I just think he is like I will tell a story about me and Lin-Manuel Miranda in the future. It ain't all that, but it was exciting to me. So next on the list, the last thing would be the Lost in Time shawl that I made right here. This is hers. Whew. Can I just flip? Oh, okay. I'm gonna get my words right. I thought that it was gonna take me like a month to make this shawl. I was surprised that it only took me 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks maybe. And I weaved in all of the ends. So all of those colors you see and all of those color changes are individual colors, separate skeins. All of them had ends. This shawl is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. It reminds me of like Morocco, or what was the other word? I kept saying it was like Moroccan. That was giving me, like I was getting this Moroccan vibe. The person that I made this for, these are the colors that she requested. So I cannot believe how well they all played together. And the shawl, okay. Miho Crochet is the username of the designer of this pattern. I have done her dragon belly. Yeah, I've done her dragon belly shawl pattern, and I've done her, I want to say timeless. I think that's the name of the shawl. If not, I'll put the correct name over here somewhere. That is all my finished objects. Next up, whips. Woo! This should be like whip my butt month. I had a lot of whips. There were some froggings that went on, but I had a lot of whips. I'm just going to go with what's in front of me. So this is my scrap project that I'm working on. Since I'm doing a lot with fingering weight yarns this year, I'm using the scraps to make a scrap project. And here she is so far. And this is just January. And some of this shows proof of the things that I have frogged. I'm using mostly, I'm saying this as of early February, most of this is from whatever's left over from the squares that come from the little micro minis pickle jar Tangled Poets yarn skein. So there's that. Here we are so far. I have a feeling that by June this is going to be massive, so I might, depending on how big it gets, I might, end it and then start another one for July, and then I'll have two awesome, I will have two I need a dictionary, y'all. I cannot think of words at all. I will end up with two of these. Shawls. Shawls is the word I was struggling for. Shawls. Pardon me. I have stuff and I need to get my stuff together. Okay. Whip number 2 is not a shawl.
Huh?
This is a project I'm making for Not Hetty. I mentioned it before. I was making her something that the yarn it has wool in it, so it's a wool blend, and I'm using Must Be Merino in the color, silver gray. But then she was telling me how she likes grandpa sweaters, and her definition of grandpa sweaters is scrappy sweaters. So I'm using the same pattern, which is the Briar Pocket cardigan by Grace for the Frills. So it's the same pattern that I used for the Hazy Shade of Winter cardigan. And here it is so far. There's the front. Okay. I would like to apologize because I'm fairly certain that the sound just changed for you. I'm sorry. My microphone was not turned on. I'm so sorry. The original pattern, you do a back panel and 2 rectangle, elongated rectangles for the front. But I wanted to give this more of a V neck, so I did some increases on the outer edges of the rectangles, and when it's on her, it fits perfectly. And here's the back. So all the gray that you see throughout is the Must Be Merino from YARNVIP, which is the Hobby Lobby blend. And then all of the other colors here is, I'm just holding 2 strands of random yarn together. And even here, the blue and the beige and the orange. It's 2 strands of the YARNVIP pigment and fiber, in their things like this. I don't remember what the colorway names are that I used here. These are like just leftovers that I used in a shawl that I made last year. If I can find that information, I'll share it here. I don't even know if Hobby Lobby even still sells these anymore, which is sad. But the dilemma I had with this is it looks so cute as a vest that I am moving slowly through it. It is like I've already started the bottom. Wait a minute. What did I do? Oh, I've finished the ribbing on the bottom, and now I am moving on to around the neck for ribbing. And then I'm going to have her try it on and see if she likes it as a vest or if she's going to insist on sleeves. It's really cute. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. And I'm just kind of working on it, here and there, just while watching television. But I did want it to get finished before it gets too hot to wear it. Next up would be, I have it written down as challenge sweater. This is the knit pattern converted to Tunisian crochet sweater challenge that I'm doing with Lynn from Nina's Knots Crochet. The original pattern, I don't think I've ever shown you. It's here, and I want to say it says, I wrote down cobblestone, so something to do with cobblestones. Last time I showed you, I have it marked on here, and this is where I was the last time I showed it to you. This is 1 full skein of the Miami Vice GlamFam colorway that Thriss from Spectrum Dye Works. I think that's the name of her yarn dyeing company. Full Spectrum. Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, I have measured this, and by measured it, I mean held it up to myself, and I am actually ready to start doing decreases for the sleeves. I do need to consult the pattern so that I don't make a horrific mistake, but I think at this rate, I will have more than enough yarn to complete it. And I am not opposed to not putting on sleeves. See, the Knits and Pieces podcast is doing a make-along this year, and it's called Make a Vest, Give Sleeves a Rest. Oh yeah, so remember I frogged it because, the way the yarn, the second skein was laying out was different, but when I started doing it the same way, okay, now you can see where the second skein starts, and it is starting to stripe. I can see that now. When I was holding it, you know, working on it, yeah, it is starting to stripe. But I don't think it's bad. You know, I think it's going to work anyway. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. I think I'm gonna work on this one a little tonight, this weekend. I honestly don't have to do a lot of thinking with this because it is just, you know, as the knitters would say, it's just stockinette. It is just straight Tunisian knit stitching, no increases, no decreases yet. But again, I'm going to consult the pattern before I proceed too far into the realm of, oh my gosh, what have I done to myself? Okay, so this is another knit converted to Tunisian crochet shawl pattern. It is, I'm not sure the official name. This was a pattern that was shared with the those of us who were doing the Two Sisters and Some Yarn murder. No, it was, what was it called? Whodunit. It was a Whodunit make along. And there was a story that went along with it. If y'all don't know about it, it was so great. She gave us pieces of a story over 4 weeks, and we had to kind of guess who was the bad guy. It was such a good story, and even Not Hetty got in on it because, you know, I was like, I want you to read this. I want you to read this, and she, but because we were getting it released 1 week at a time, like, you know, how television watching used to be before streaming services. Once Not Hetty sat down to read it, she got like all but the very end, like, you know, the finale. So she read all 4 parts to the story, and she's like, okay. And then we sat and talked. I kid you not, it was like a TED Talk. We sat and talked about who could have done it, why it made sense that it was this person, why didn't this person speak up, what was happening here. This was again before we found out who had done all of it. I swear we sat and talked about it for like 2 hours, and it was so fun because, you know, I had read, you know, weeks and weeks, so I had to think back to what is like fresh information for her. And then when we found out, you know, who done it and all this other stuff, we were just sitting there like, yeah, it was so great. And then the story ends on another cliffhanger that we don't get to even taste until January of next year. Yeah. Oh yeah, so there was a shawl pattern, and this is how far I have gotten on it. I started this shawl 4 times because I kept messing it up. And honestly, I think this pattern and the Linus shawl are very similar. And that's probably why I kept screwing up this, because I was trying to make this like that one. And then when I look back at that pattern, I think that is supposed to look more like this. It's a whole thing. Right now, it's reminding me of pizza. You do decreases on one side and increases on the other, every other row. And the yarn is made by All Dyed Up Fibers. They are a Canadian dyer. This is 70% merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon, 400 yards, 365 meters, 115 grams. And the name of it, I still can't tell if it's supposed to say Sable Kingston or Sabine Kingston or something completely different, but there is the name. And y'all may remember this because I was going to use it when I did my Louisiana shawl, because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough minis to do that. And I was going to fill it in with this because this screams Louisiana. It's like LSU, Mardi Gras, Louisiana, Acadiana. It just, yeah. So I felt like this was much perfect. I think this was even more appropriate to use for the whodunit because the story of the whodunit mystery was set in New Orleans. So, there's There we go. Yay! I like how this looks. I mean, the shape of the shawl, and it's just going to, you know, continue to grow. And I really do wish that I would have done this one right, because I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna behave, because y'all already know me and Arcane Fiberworks got a thing. Anyway, nope. Going on. I had to finish it. That's my whips. Next up, the future. All right, as I have been trying to do ever since I started this YouTube channel, was to learn something new, share it with y'all, encourage y'all to also learn something new so that we can stretch our crochet muscles. And Lucas of Lucas Yarns has created a challenge that he was going to do it just for 1 month, but it has been extended through the year, which I think is amazing. And it is the New Year, New Skill Make Along. And this is the hashtag for that. In doing that, I have learned a few new things. I said this was the future, right? Anyway, I've learned some new things. The Lost in Time shawl has a picot edge on it. I've never done a picot edge before, so ding! The square that's all wonky, I've never done that kind of square pattern before, so another new thing. And what else? I can't remember. Moving on from, I mean, other than that, my friend Rochelle at Queen's Yarns Boutique is co-hosting a make-along for the year. I think it's called the Year-Long Sweater Mal. I will get the hashtag and put it here properly. So essentially, you make a sweater throughout the year. How cool is that? You can make one sweater, you can make multiple sweaters, and sweaters are my jam. Even when it's hot outside, I want to make a sweater, which is weird. I will be participating in that. Not Hetty's sweater will be my first entry into that make-along. Judy's Creations and Crochet is co-hosting a shawl make-along, and it is the hashtag Turnpike Creations Mal 24. They're okay, and it goes from now until March 9th. This is what I have written down in my notes. Okay, so there's a knit shawl pattern and a crochet shawl pattern. They're both designed by the same person, and they look very, very similar. And you just either knit or crochet the shawl. And I watched the beginning of their, they did a live kind of kicking off this make-along, and both of the hosts are using colors in the shawl that are outside of their comfort zone. So I feel like that's kind of a cool thing to include if you decide to participate. And, you know, grab from stash. I'm not telling you to run out and buy anything. Grab from stash, but maybe put together colors that you wouldn't normally gravitate toward. So it's, you know, stepping out, and that, in my mind, counts as a new skill, New Year, New Skill thing. One challenge I am making for myself. Here's official future plan. Because I've really, I've never made a virus shawl.
Oh no.
So that is on my future plan. I am going to make a virus shawl sometime this year. Maybe it'll be this month. I don't know. Maybe. But it's on my list. Next up, it's time to flip the calendar. Hey, 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 flip the calendar. New month, new color inspiration. Y'all get first dibs and go. Interesting. It kind of feels like Field of Dreams, but also like the end of every episode of Highway to Heaven. Let me see, because I have put into a jar some of my micro minis, and I'm using these for my, oh, I think I found the color already. Let's see. Okay, here, here.
Wow!
Wow, I think that's it. Boys and girls, we've done it. It's rather depressing, but at the same time, this is exactly what Louisiana looks like in February. Okay, that's my calendar inspiration. Now, Judy from Judy's Creations and Crochet, this year she is doing bird color inspirations, and I was trying to find a photo. If I can find a photo of her inspiration, I'll pop it up here. And I looked to my minis once again, and look at this. I think this is perfect, which is why it's in a ball and not a hank, because I balled it up yesterday. I think this matches hers perfectly. I'm going to make a square. So my inspiration, my calendar inspiration this month will be expressed via squares. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to still make shawls. This is just going to be easiest because I like the idea of using all these little micro minis. They're the perfect size for squares. Of course, any yarn is perfect for a square depending on how big you want your square to be. Next up, stuff I got. So the first of the stuff I got is something that I received as a prize for a make-along that I did last year. Knits and Pieces podcast. Last year, they had a Smash Your Stash make-along. You were to make something that was using at least 50 grams of yarn that had been in your stash prior to January 1 of 2023. I did 90+% of all of my makes last year were from existing stash. I was so proud of myself. And they had an overall winner at the end of the year, and I won. I was so excited. Let me just tell you, aside from the fact that, you know, it encouraged me to use stash, and, you know, just really, I was trying to, I like weighed everything that I made, which I don't normally do, but I was just really impressed. I wanted to see how much I did, and if Editing Jackie is being so gracious, maybe she will show you the total number of grams that I crocheted from my stash last year right here. No, I'm not going to tell you how many grams of stash I actually currently have because it ain't that kind of party. Grand prize for the make-along last year was this. It is a Delicue Maker bag. It is the roll top bag. Here is my bag. So we have a nice outside pocket, perfect for your pattern to go into. It has two pockets here. And the reason it's called the roll top, let me see if I can get the contents to cooperate. It has two snaps at the top. And then you fold it down, and this leather strap comes across the top to snap in place. Okay, so here's the stitch marker thing I was telling you about. So there's this big like safety pin thing, and then there are stitch markers here. Yes, they are the round ones made for knitters. I will crochetify them soon. Crochetify. Leather strap. A nice long adjustable handle with a cushion for your shoulder, which is adjustable. On the inside, it's got a lot. Look, this is the yarn. Ooh. I was using this bag for my Lost in Time shawl. But right here, this is the yarn Is that it? This is the yarn feeder. And then over here somewhere, and the yarn cutter is up here. And it has pockets. So pockets for pens, pockets for hooks, pockets for needles, plus pockets for notions. What is this? Oh, see, I didn't know that was in here. I got a sewing thread, I mean a sewing needle, darning needle. You know, the chunky ones. It has pockets, pockets, and pockets. Thank you so much to the ladies at Knits and Pieces podcast. I will use this happily for as long as this holds together, and it feels like it's going to be with me for a while. My new friend Shannon of Just Another Yarn, Just Another Yarn, sent me this book, Crochet Sweaters with a Textured Twist. It is a fairly new book. It is written by Linda I don't know how to pronounce her name. I first heard about this book from Chris and Lisa from Three of Skein. The patterns are just, look, I can't show you and here we go, like this. The texture is just so pretty, and there's so many patterns that will just, isn't that pretty? See, this is the kind of stuff that I want to be able to make and have people go, "You crocheted that?" Because, you know, again, people have this image of crochet, but I mean, this is how we elevate. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Shannon. I knew what I was expecting. No. It talks about short row shaping. This is a cool book. And Tony Lipsy, you know, Tony, she's my girl, says, Linda has written the must-have book for crocheting the wardrobe of your dreams. Open it to any page and prepare to have your mind blown. I agree. So I was considering. I was going to do a review of this, but, and I will, but I figured I would just show it to you first because, so I placed an order for a new crochet hook. It is from Oakley, and it is the Barbie crochet hook. So it does remind me ish of the Furls resin hooks, but when I would see like advertisements, I was concerned because can you see that line that goes across on both of those? I was concerned that would irritate me. So I haven't used it yet. It has been in its case. And can I just say, every one comes in this little case with almost like a cork-like plug. I like that. Definitely sturdier than the box that the Furls hook comes in. So I will be doing a review on this sometime this month. And unfortunately, the only size that they had left in stock, because these were on sale, is a size L, which is an 8mm hook. But it is super pretty. It goes with this yarn. So there's that. Oh, one more thing. So my friend Lynn owns Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. She and I met last summer during the Shark Week challenge, and I do have another video that I will be uploading within the next few days. This is one that when I saw, I had to have. I didn't ask any questions. I just saw it. I said, I have to have it. It was the last that was in stock and I ordered it. It is a mini sock set. The yarn is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It is 92 yards or 20 grams each. And the colorway is called the 80s. Y'all have to give me 4 reasons as to why I should not have purchased it. I'm listening. That's what I thought. The colorways are Airhead, Cool Beans, As If, That's Rad, Chill Out, and Gnarly. I felt like they were in this order, but then I was like, I don't know, because like this, I can see that as like Airheads, the candy. This Cool Beans because it's got some brown in it. But this one, the gray, to me seems more gnarly. I could be wrong, but I don't care. We're going to take it out of the bag. I have not taken it out of the bag because I mess stuff up when I take it out of the bag. Mind your business. Can y'all see? Look at that. So again, let's see. Airhead. Come on. Airhead. Cool Beans. As If. That's Rad. Chill Out. And Gnarly. It does not matter. It is the 80s. And I will do with it as I please. I don't know what I want to do with it. I do know that I will have it. She is giving a 15% off discount, and I will put the code right here. So a 15% off discount that is good from now until March 31st of 2024. Mark your calendars right now. August 1st, 2024 is the beginning of the I Love the 80s Mal for 2024. It will run until September 30th. So you're going to have 2 months to make something or some things. Put your thinking caps on. I have a few ideas. I want to kind of do an 80s pattern roundup, you know, maybe in June or so leading up to, so that we can really get our creative juices flowing. But I might do my 80s project with this yarn. And I also have a hank of Don't Stop Believin', so I can put them together. That is all of the stuff I got. That is all of January, y'all. I still feel like I left stuff out, but you know what? If I did, it does not matter. So with that, I will say, if you like this video, please like this video. If you love this video, if you love my, would like to support this channel, you can do that by leaving a comment. You can also do that by clicking that subscribe button, and don't forget to rock that notification bell. Until next time, I've been Jackie.